Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve day 20 problem of this month on Leetcode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. Problem number 2516. Take k of each character from left and right. So in this problem you are given a string s consisting of characters A, B and C and a non-negative integer k. Okay. Each minute you may take either a leftmost character of S or the rightmost character of S. We have to return the minimum number of minutes needed for you to take at least k of each character, or return -1 if it is not possible to take k of each character. Okay. So here see this example number 1. So if I just consider this part in the starting and this part in the end, so you will see the frequency of A here in this part is 1 2 3 4. Okay, and the frequency of B in this part is 2, and the frequency of C in this part is 2. Okay, and all these values are greater than or equal to K. Okay, so this is what is needed here, right? So simply means that if we just remove this part, okay, this window, okay, if we just remove this window, we are still getting the valid answer because the frequency of all the characters are greater than or equal to k. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are taking three characters from the left of S. You now have two A characters and one B character, right? Take five characters from the right of S. You now have four A's, two B's and two C's in the end. A total of 3 plus 5, 8 minutes is needed. It can be proven that 8 is the minimum number of minutes needed. Okay, and you can check for other windows as well. Okay, but this 8 is going to be the minimum one. Okay, so that is why output is 8. We have to return the minimum number of minutes needed for you to take at least k of each character. Okay, this is what the need here. Okay, so here if you see this window, k is equal to 1, that simply means that we need a greater than equal to 1. Okay, and b also greater than equal to 1 and c also greater than equal to 1. Okay, a is greater than 1, b should be greater than equal to 1 and c should be greater than equal to 1, but this is not possible here, right? It is not possible to take 1, b or c, so that is why we are turning -1 here, right? So I hope that you guys are clear. Okay, so we are basically dealing with removing one window. Okay, removing the max size window from this string so that this condition is satisfied, so that frequency of all the remaining characters should be greater than equal to k. Okay, so we are returning with this removal part. Okay, so we can simply approach sliding window here, right, using two pointer approach, right? These are the constants given to us, and s consists of only these letters a, b and c, right? So here how I'm going to solve this problem, let's see. Okay, so here first in this problem, let's count the frequency of all the elements. Okay, so what is the frequency of a? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. The frequency of a is 8. And what is the frequency of b here in this string? 2. And what is the frequency of c? C is also 2. Okay, so I need one window. Okay, I need one window and I want to remove it. Okay, this is a requirement. So this window can contains can contain a minimums okay, can contain a for maximum of 6 times. Okay, because I need at least 2. So in this window, if a is 6 times, then I am also good. Okay, and b here, we have totally 2 b's here. Okay, so I want my window to not contain any b, right? We have just 2 c's. Okay, so I want my window to not contain any c. Okay, this is a requirement. So my window can contain up to 6 a's, 0 b's and 0 c's in this example number 1. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear why I'm saying a equal to 6. Okay, because if I'm just removing this part now, I'm removing this window. So if I remove 6 windows, 6 A's, okay, then still I'm left with the 2 A's, right? And that is fine, right? So here what we need to do, here I can simply derive one thing, that I am going to shrink the window, okay, if it exceeds the limit for any character, okay. So for A, 8 minus k, I can say 8 minus k is 2 now. For B, 2 minus k, and C, for C, 2 minus k, okay. So this simply k is 2 here, this simply is 0, this simply is 0, this simply is 6, okay. So if my sliding window contains more than 6 A's, okay, more than 6 A's, then I'm just going to shrink the window, because I don't need more than 6 A's, right? So this is one case, okay. So now how I'm going to solve this problem, let's see that. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear this part. Okay, so now let's create 2 pointers, okay. And let's say my left and right both are at 0 index initially, okay. So now see carefully, left is at this position and right is at this position, okay. So here current character is A, okay. Just notice this R. I'm going to just move this right forward, okay. So I'm just going to find the window, right? So here just notice this R. So here my R is at this 0 index, okay, this character A. So A frequency right now here in my window is 1, and all characters frequency is 0 right now, okay. B is 0 and C is also 0 as of now, okay. So window length right now, window length is valid, okay, only A is there. So my window length is going to be 1 right now, okay. Then this is valid, okay. Now let's move my R forward, okay. I'm just considering the case I want to remove the window, right? So can I remove this window? So here let's see, A, 2 A's are there, it becomes 2, and this is valid window, right? This is valid window if I remove it, right? And because in the remaining part you see that frequency of B, frequency of A and C, everything frequency is greater than equal to K, okay. So we can remove this part. So here max window that I can remove until now is 2, okay. This is done. Now after that let's say my R is going to move forward, okay. My R is going to move forward to this position, okay. So now there is one issue, now there is one issue. What is the issue here? The frequency of B becomes 1, right? And I don't want the frequency of B to be 1, okay. Because here the reason is simple, because I don't want, because in the remaining part if you just see here visually, B's frequency becomes 1 only if I just consider the remaining part, okay. So I don't want to remove this B, so this B should not come in my window, right? So what I'm going to do here, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to increment my left, okay. So here frequency of B is 1 right now, so I'm going to increment my left to the next position, okay. So my left is going to move forward here, okay. So my A frequency is going to become 1 again. Still you see that frequency of B is still 1, okay. I don't want that, so my L is going to move forward, my L reaches here, and now frequency of A becomes 0, okay. So this is done. Now after that again if you see, the frequency of B is still 1, okay. Frequency of B is still 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my L forward. L is going to move forward, L reaches here, okay. L reaches here, and now I have to decrement the frequency of B because L is moving forward, okay. So here this becomes 0, okay. This becomes 0, right? And now this is done, okay. So I am moving left 1 by 1 forward and I'm decrementing the frequency, okay. So now my B frequency is good, okay. So now here after that what is going to happen, uh, here, okay. So here if you now you are saying that seeing here that R is at 2, okay. So window length, how we calculate window length? Window length we calculate simple like this, I R minus L plus 1, okay. So here max window length is 2 now, so right now we will not get the max window length because here R is still at 2, and L is at 3 plus 1. 2 minus 3, 2 minus 3 is minus 1 plus 1. Okay, I am going to get 0 output. Okay, so this is not a valid. Okay, so now after it, R is going to move forward. R is always going to move forward. Okay, so now this becomes one valid window. Okay, this is R, this is R. Okay, this is valid window, this part I can remove this. Okay, I can remove this A, because in the remaining portion, if you see, we have A is greater than equal to K, B is greater than equal to K, and C is greater than equal to K. So we can remove this. Okay, so this valid window length is 1, but here, instead of writing here 1, this is not the max window length. Okay, so I'm not going to update this. Okay, I'm not going to update this. All right, so now my R is going to move forward, and R is here. Okay, here side by side, just update the frequency. Okay, so now my R is here. So now frequency of A is 2, and we are still good. We don't need A is greater than 6. Okay, then my the R is going to move forward. Okay, R is going to move forward. A becomes 3. Okay, and window length is going to become 3 now, right? Window length going to become 3. Okay, I can remove these 3 A's. I'm good, still good, because still the frequency of all the A's and B's and C's is greater than equal to K. Okay, this is done. Okay, then my R is going to move forward. So now here I can remove this part as well. Now my frequency of A is going to become 4. Okay, A is going to become 4, and this max window length is also going to become 4. Okay, I can remove this window as well, 4. Okay, this is the max count until now, right? So here I can remove, let me just highlight this mainly. Okay, I can remove this 4. Okay, this window, and if you see the remaining portion, which is this one and this one, I am still good, right? A frequency is greater than equal to K, B frequency is greater than equal to K, C frequency is greater than equal to K. Now there is one more case. Okay, now here my R is going to move forward to this position, and I don't want the count of C to be greater than 0, right? So now what we have to do, we have to shrink the window. So to shrink the window, what I need to do here, C count is 1, still 1. Okay, here when I see this, I update the count to 1. Okay, now I have to shrink it. So shrink it. So here this L is here. For previous A, decrement the value to 3. My L moves further. For previous A, decrement the value to 2. Okay, my L moves here. For previous A, value is going to decrement to 1. Okay, now my L is going to move forward to here at this position. My A frequency is going to become 0, right? And still C frequency is 1. Okay, so my L is going to move further again. Okay, L reaches to this position. All right, and now my C frequency is going to become 0. Okay, so in the end, if you see, this is the case, right? L is here, R is here, and now C frequency becomes 0. Okay, C frequency becomes 0 here. Okay, because every time whenever my L is moving, we are decrementing the frequency, and A's final frequency is still 0 now. Okay, until now C frequency is 0. Okay, so now my R is going to move forward. Okay, R reaches to next position, R is here. So now this is the window that I can remove. Okay, so A frequency is going to become 1. Then I move forward here. Okay, so A frequency is going to become 2. I'm not operating window size because window size is not maximum until now. Then my R is going to move forward, and with R I'm updating the frequency of B to 1. Okay, but this is not the case. I don't want B to be any value other than 0. Okay, so now again I'm going to shrink it. Okay, shrink it. So my L is going to move to the next position, then here. Okay, then here. So in the end, if I see, so my B will become 0. Okay, and my A is going to become 0. Okay, because I'm shrinking everything. Okay, so here L becomes here, then my R is going to move forward. So C frequency is 1, then again I'm going to shrink it. So in the end, when my R reaches out of loop, okay, I'm just going to quit, simply quit. Okay, so what is the max window length? I'm getting 4. And what is the total number of total number of this length of this string is 12, right? 12 minus 4 is 8, so 8 is going to be my answer, right? So this is what we need to do. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so now let's write the code. Okay, with code you guys will get better understanding, but you guys are already clear, I know. Okay, so here int n is equal to s dot length, okay, frequency. So we have just three characters, right? So new int 3, and now we have to count the frequency of each character in the string. So for character c string to char array, okay, so we have to just update the frequency of c minus a plus plus, okay. Now after this, we in the starting only, let's check now if any character count is less than k, then simply return, you can return -1 from there, right? So for -1 is the only thing that we are returning, right? -1, okay. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, I plus plus, and here if you check if frequency of any particular element at this particular index okay is less than k, then in that case simply return -1, okay. This is done here until here. Then we are just going to use a sliding window to find the longest substring that can be removed, okay. So here let's create one count array, okay. So here basically we are just going to count the number of to track the counts within the window, okay. That's the simple purpose of this one, okay. So total count of A is 8 in the starting, B is 2, C is 2, but I don't want A's count to be greater than 6, B's count to be greater than 0, C's count greater than 0. That is why I'm going to keep the track of the number of A's, B's and C's in the window, right? So here inside this, just write int left is equal to 0 initially, and max window length, max window length okay, it should be, it is equal to 0, okay. And then just run one loop for int right is equal to 0, right is less than n, right plus plus, okay. And then we have to just update the count of s dot character at the right minus a, okay. So with the right I'm incrementing the count, okay, and with the left I'm just going to decrement the count, okay. So here we have to shrink the window if it exceeds the limit for any character. So here I'm just going to run one while count of 0 simply means a, I'm talking about a, okay. If it becomes greater than frequency of a, total frequency of a, and in this minus k, okay, simply I'm checking if the count of a becomes greater than frequency of 8, 0 is 8 minus 2 6, okay. So if count of a becomes greater than 6, okay, in the inside this while I'm going to shrink it, okay. Here or same thing we have to do for b and c, okay. Copy this, paste it, copy it, paste it here, and here instead for b I'm going to write 1 1, and for c I'm going to write 2 and 2 here, okay. This is done, clear. And now inside this we have to shrink it now. So here I told you that for right I'm going to increment, and for left when I'm removing the element I'm just going to decrement that, okay. So here left, and here minus minus, right, and here I have to just increment my left every time, okay, left index. This is done. Here my while loop ends, and then we have to update the maximum window length. So max window length is equal to mat dot max of max window length, and here simple formula, right, minus left plus 1 to calculate the length of window, right. This is done, okay. And then in the end we have to just return n minus total size of the string, okay, minus max window length. Okay, let's run it and see if there are any code issues. So yes, there are some issues. Key spelling mistake, and here also max spelling mistake. So the test cases has been accepted. Now let's submit it. Okay, so see, our solution is accepted, right? And the time complexity for this problem is going to be of n, since we are just iterating over our this string only. Okay, if r is a right pointer, okay, is moving over all the characters in my string one by one. That's it. Okay, of n. So I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem. If you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.